You face setbacks that knock you down, even after giving everything you've got. What if the worst moments of your life could become your greatest source of strength? In this video, I'll share 7 psychology-backed strategies used by elite athletes and Navy SEALs that will teach you how to transform pain into unstoppable power. I discovered this mental strategy when a devastating failure nearly ended my career. Turns out, psychologists at the University of Pennsylvania found that people who master adversarial growth, the ability to use pain as fuel, don't just recover faster, they become mentally stronger than those who never faced hardship. The problem is, most people run from pain or let it destroy them when they should be mining it for power. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to alchemize suffering into strength and emerge more powerful than before. Let's dive in. Now, here's where it gets interesting, and it completely changed how I see challenges. Strategy number 1, the pain reframe. The pain reframe is the immediate mental shift you make when something painful happens. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you ask, "Why is this happening for me?" This single question transforms you from victim to student. Pain stops being an enemy and becomes a teacher. It's not about denying that something hurts. It's about refusing to let that hurt be meaningless. Research from Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck shows that people with a growth mindset, those who see challenges as opportunities, perform significantly better under pressure than those with a fixed mindset. When you reframe pain as feedback rather than failure, your brain shifts from the amygdala's fear response to the prefrontal cortex's problem-solving mode. Neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman explains that this mental shift literally changes your brain chemistry, reducing cortisol and increasing dopamine. You're not just thinking differently, you're rewiring your neural pathways to see adversity as advantage. First, when something painful happens, give yourself 90 seconds to feel the emotion fully. Don't suppress it, acknowledge it. Second, once that initial wave passes, ask yourself 3 specific questions. What is this teaching me? What skill is this forcing me to develop? And how will overcoming this make me stronger? Third, write down your answers. The act of writing activates your conscious mind and weakens the emotional grip. For instance, instead of thinking, "I failed because I'm not good enough," reframe it as, "This failure revealed exactly what I need to improve. Now I know my growth edge." The mistake people make is trying to reframe before processing the emotion. Feel it first, then reframe it. But reframing is just the first step. This next strategy is what separates those who survive pain from those who thrive because of it. Strategy number 2, the adversity inventory. This next one is crucial, and most people have never systematically done this. The adversity inventory is a deliberate practice where you list every significant hardship you've faced and extract the specific strengths you gained from each one. You're essentially creating a pain-to-power database. Every breakup taught you resilience. Every failure taught you humility. Every rejection taught you persistence. When you document this pattern, you create undeniable proof that you've always grown through adversity, which means you will this time too. Dr. Martin Seligman, founder of positive psychology, discovered that people who can articulate their origin story of strength, the narrative of how they became strong, have dramatically higher resilience scores. This works because your brain is a pattern recognition machine. When you show it concrete evidence that pain has historically made you stronger, it expects that pattern to continue. You're building what psychologists call earned confidence. This isn't fake positivity. It's evidence-based self-trust. Studies from the American Psychological Association show that trauma survivors who complete adversity inventories report 40% higher post-traumatic growth than those who don't. First, set aside 30 minutes with a journal or document. Create 2 columns, adversity and strength gained. Second, list every significant hardship chronologically, starting from childhood, family struggles, academic failures, relationship breakups, health issues, career setbacks. Don't filter. Write everything that hurt. Third, beside each adversity, identify at least one specific strength you gained. Did that betrayal make you more discerning? Did that failure make you more prepared? Did that loss make you more compassionate? For example, I wrote, lost my job in 2019 inches in the left column. In the right column, learned I could survive uncertainty, discovered resourcefulness, developed empathy for others, facing job loss. The mistake is writing vague strengths. Be specific. What exact capability did this pain forge in you? I am. Now let's talk about something even more powerful. A technique that elite performers use in the middle of suffering. Strategy number 3. The present pain protocol. Most people don't know this, but you can reduce suffering by 50% simply by changing how you relate to pain in the moment. The present pain protocol is a 3-step process you use while you're actively hurting. Step 1. Name it. I'm experiencing anxiety. Step 2. Locate it. It's in my chest and throat. Step 3. Observe it. It feels tight, hot, and constricting. This creates what psychologists call psychological distance. You're no longer the pain. You're the observer of the pain. That subtle distinction changes everything. Dr. Ethan Kross from the University of Michigan discovered that when people label emotions using third-person language or observational distance, activity in the brain's emotional centers decreases by 50%. This technique hijacks the way your brain processes suffering. When you're consumed by pain, your sense of self merges with the pain. I am suffering. But when you observe pain, I am experiencing suffering. You create space. That space is power. It's the difference between drowning in a wave and surfing it. Viktor Frankl, Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, wrote that, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose. This protocol creates that space. First, the moment you notice suffering, anxiety, grief, frustration, pause for 10 seconds. Don't try to fix it or escape it yet. Second, say internally or out loud, I am noticing, knowing making my body location. It feels sensory language, not judgment. Not judgment. Don't say bad or terrible. Say tight, hot, heavy, constricting. Third, breathe slowly while observing the sensation like a scientist studying a specimen. You're not fighting it. You're studying it. For instance, when I feel rejection after a setback, instead of spiraling into I'm a failure, I say, I'm noticing shame. It's in my stomach and face. It feels like heat and contraction. Instantly, the overwhelm lessens. The common mistake is adding narrative. Don't tell a story about why you feel this way. Just name it, locate it, observe it. That's the entire protocol. But what if you could go beyond managing pain? What if you could actually weaponize it? This next strategy does exactly that. Strategy number 4, the fuel conversion technique. This one sounds almost aggressive, but it's used by everyone from Olympic athletes to combat veterans. The fuel conversion technique is the deliberate practice of channeling emotional pain into physical or creative action within 48 hours of the painful event. When someone rejects you, you hit the gym with intensity you've never had before. When you fail publicly, you pour that shame into your work with laser focus. You're not suppressing the emotion, you're transmuting it. Pain becomes rocket fuel. Anger becomes discipline. Grief becomes depth. Neurobiologically, pain creates a surge of stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine. These chemicals prepare your body for action. If you do nothing, they create anxiety and rumination. But if you direct them into purposeful action, they enhance performance. Exercise physiologist Dr. Kelly McGonigal's research on stress shows that people who use stress as energy rather than trying to eliminate it have better cardiovascular health and mental performance. The key is timing. You must act within 48 hours. After that, the emotional intensity fades, and you lose the fuel. This is why boxers train harder after a loss, why writers publish their best work after heartbreak, why entrepreneurs build empires after bankruptcy. They didn't wait for motivation. They converted pain while it was hot. First, create a pain protocol list. before you need it. Write down 3 activities you'll do when pain strikes. Intense workout, deep work session, creative project, skill practice. Don't wait until you're hurting to decide. Pre-commit now. Second, when something painful happens, wait 90 seconds to feel it. Remember strategy number 1, that immediately, within the hour if possible, execute 1 item from your protocol list. Don't think, don't negotiate, just act. Third, during the activity, channel every ounce of emotional energy into performance. Feel the anger in every rep. Feel the disappointment in every focused work block. For example, after a brutal rejection, I don't scroll social media or process for days. I feel it for 90 seconds. Then I'm at my desk, writing with a fury I can't manufacture any other way. 6 months later, that rejection became the catalyst for my best work. The mistake people make is waiting until they feel better. No, use the pain while it's powerful. Now, here's a strategy that works over the long term. It's how you build permanent strength from temporary pain. Strategy number 5, the post-traumatic growth blueprint. This next one is backed by decades of research, and it explains why some people come out of tragedy stronger than ever. The post-traumatic growth blueprint is a structured reflection process you complete 90 days after a painful event. You systematically identify 5 specific areas where the pain forced growth. Personal strength, I'm more resilient. New possibilities, doors opened I wouldn't have seen. Relationships, I know who's really there. Appreciation of life, I don't take things for granted. And spiritual development, I understand what matters. This isn't toxic positivity, it's evidence gathering. You're mining the pain for actual tangible upgrades. Psychologist Richard Tedeschi and Lawrence Calhoun pioneered post-traumatic growth research and found that 70% of trauma survivors report significant positive change in at least one life area. This doesn't mean the trauma was worth it. It means humans are capable of using even the worst experiences as raw material for transformation. The brain's neuroplasticity means that intense experiences create intense learning. Pain carves deep grooves in your psyche, and you get to choose what fills those grooves. Bitterness or wisdom, weakness or strength. Studies show that people who complete structured PTG reflections have lower rates of PTSD and higher life satisfaction scores. 5 years later, the reflection process itself activates meaning-making circuits in the brain, turning chaos into narrative, trauma into teaching. First, wait at least 30 days after a major painful event. You need distance for objectivity. Second, use the 5-domain framework. Open a document and create 5 sections with these headers: personal strength, new possibilities, relationship, appreciation of life, spiritual development. Third, under each header, write at least 2 specific, concrete examples of growth. Not vague, I'm stronger now, but I discovered I can handle conflict without crumbling. I set boundaries I never could before. For relationships, I learned who my real friends are. I deepened my relationship with my sister. For new possibilities, I changed careers. I discovered a talent for writing I didn't know I had. For example, after a devastating breakup, I completed this 60 days later. Under personal strength, I proved I can be alone and be okay. I rebuilt my identity outside of a relationship. Under new possibilities, I moved cities. I started this channel. The mistake is doing this too soon. You're still raw or too late. You've moved on without extracting the lessons. Aim for 90 days post-pain. But wait, there's one more strategy that ties everything together. It's the daily practice that keeps you strong. Strategy number 6, the voluntary hardship practice. This next one is what elite military units and ancient Stoics have used for centuries. The voluntary hardship practice is the intentional exposure to small, manageable discomforts on a regular basis. Cold showers, fasting, intense workouts, difficult conversations, saying no to pleasure. You're not waiting for pain to find you. You're seeking it out on your terms. This inoculates you against involuntary pain. It's the difference between being ambushed by hardship and training for it. You're building what psychologists call stress resilience through controlled doses of stress. Navy SEALs use deliberate discomfort in training because it creates a psychological reference point. When involuntary pain strikes in combat, their brains think, I felt worse in training. The fear response is muted. Stanford neuroscientist Dr. David Spiegel's research on stress inoculation shows that people who regularly practice voluntary hardship have lower cortisol responses to unexpected stressors. You're essentially training your nervous system to stay calm under pressure. The Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, practiced negative visualization and voluntary discomfort, not to punish themselves, but to remove fear's power. When you know you can handle cold, hunger, fatigue, and discomfort voluntarily, involuntary suffering doesn't break you. You've built what the Stoics called inner citadel, an unshakable core. First, choose one daily voluntary hardship. Start small. Cold shower for 90 seconds, 16-hour fast once a week, high-intensity workout that makes you uncomfortable, or sitting in silence for 10 minutes with no phone. Second, commit to this practice for 30 days minimum. Consistency is more important than intensity. The goal isn't to suffer, it's to prove to yourself, repeatedly, that you can handle discomfort. Third, during the hardship, use the present pain protocol from strategy number 3. Name it, locate it, observe it. This combines 2 strategies into one powerful practice. For example, I take a cold shower every morning. When the cold hits, I say, I'm noticing discomfort. It's on my skin. It feels sharp and intense. I breathe through it. By the time I dry off, I've won the first battle of the day, against myself. The mistake is making voluntary hardship punitive or extreme. This isn't self-harm, it's self-strengthening. Choose discomforts that challenge you, but don't injure you. Right. Finally, let's talk about the meta strategy that makes all of these work together. Strategy number 7, the identity shift. This last one is the foundation that makes everything else sustainable. It's about who you become. The identity shift is the moment you stop seeing yourself as someone to whom bad things happen and start seeing yourself as someone who uses bad things to become stronger. You change your core narrative from I'm unlucky or I'm a victim to I'm forged by adversity. This isn't just positive thinking. It's an evidence-based identity built on strategy number 2, your adversity inventory. Every time pain strikes, instead of thinking, why me again, you think, this is the forge. This is where I'm made. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, explains that lasting change happens at the identity level, not the habit level. When you shift from I want to be resilient to I am resilient, your brain automatically makes decisions aligned with that identity. Psychologists call this identity congruent behavior. Research from Stanford shows that people who adopt growth identities persist 60% longer through challenges than those who see themselves as fixed. The reason is simple. Victims avoid pain because it confirms their weakness. Warriors seek it because it confirms their strength. Your brain will always find evidence for whatever identity you claim. If you believe you're weak, pain breaks you. If you believe you're anti-fragile, a term coined by Nassim Taleb, pain strengthens you. First, complete your adversity inventory, strategy number 2, and read it until you believe it. That's your proof. Second, create an identity statement and repeat it daily. I am someone who grows through adversity, or I am forged by challenges, or pain makes me stronger. Say it in the mirror. Write it in your journal. Make it your phone wallpaper. Third, every time you face a setback, reference your identity immediately. I'm the person who turns pain into power. What can I learn here? For instance, when I face rejection now, I don't spiral. My first thought is, I'm in my forge moment. This is where my edge gets sharpened. Then I apply the other 6 strategies. The mistake people make is waiting until they feel like this identity is true. You don't wait for feelings. You declare the identity, then act as if it's true until it becomes true. Identity leads behavior. Behavior reinforces identity. Let's quickly review what we covered today. Number 1, the pain reframe. Ask, why is this happening for me? Number 2, the adversity inventory. Document every hardship and the strength it gave you. Number 3, the present pain protocol. Name it, locate it, observe it to create psychological distance. Number 4, the fuel conversion technique. Channel pain into action within 48 hours. Number 5, the post-traumatic growth blueprint. Mind pain for growth in 5 domains. 90 days later. Number 6, the voluntary hardship practice. Build resilience through chosen discomfort. Number 7, the identity shift. Become someone who's forged by adversity. Remember, pain is not optional, but suffering is. The only difference between someone who's broken by pain and someone who's made by pain is this. One sees it as the end, the other sees it as the forge. You have everything you need to turn your worst moments into your greatest strengths. Every person you admire who has real depth, real wisdom, real power, they earned it through pain. They chose to transform. Don't wait until pain destroys you. Start applying these strategies today. Even if you're not in crisis right now, practice the voluntary hardship. Build your adversity inventory. Claim your warrior identity. I promise you, the next time life hits you, and it will, you won't crumble. You'll use it, and 1 year from now, you'll look back at this moment and thank yourself for learning how to turn pain into power. If you found this helpful, hit that like button. It helps more people discover these strategies. Subscribe for more psychology-backed self-improvement content that actually transforms your life. Drop a comment telling me which strategy you're going to apply first, or share a time when pain made you stronger. And if you want to learn how to build unshakable confidence, even after failure, check out that video next. It pairs perfectly with what we covered today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.